over production quotas as well as growing tensions with Riyadh. It also comes at a critical moment with the world facing one of its most severe energy crises in decades, triggered by the US-Israeli war against Iran. Let's speak now to John Sfakianakis, who is the Chief Economist and Head of Research at the Gulf Research Centre, speaking to us from Riyadh. Very good to have you with us, John. How big a moment is this?
Well, this is huge. Clearly it highlights the tension that has existed for quite some time between the UAE and OPEC, and specifically Saudi Arabia. This is a moment of tension for also the relations between the two countries. A lot of people expected, at least those in the energy markets, that the UAE would decide at some point. There was a lot of rumor over the last year, 2 years, that the UAE is going to exit. They finally did it. I think the justification is the war, and now it's the time for them to go at it alone, which means that OPEC, of course, is going to be effectively Saudi Arabia and some of the other countries. Very important move, however.
A big move, but in terms of the UAE, what are its plans now? What's it going to do? Presumably increase production, John?
Absolutely, Lucy. They already invested huge amounts of money, upwards of $150 billion, to take production now to 5 million barrels by 2027. But they have a plan to extract more oil off the ground, to take capacity to 6 million barrels, which means that Saudi Arabia, which has a capacity of 11.5 million, it's going to be a contender. And they will pump more oil, which means that more supply. And that is going to be an issue. But the UAE wants to clearly extract oil, benefit from that, and to get out of the difficulties of being an OPEC member, to contest, and has been contesting for a long time with Saudi Arabia as to the price, the quota. The quota, which allows the UAE to produce 3 million barrels, capacity, as I said, 4.5 right now, close to 5, is always an issue, was always an issue, and they wanted to pump more, produce more money, and now they said, we're going at it alone. That's it. Thank you.
So this means lower prices?
This potentially could lead to lower prices. Once we get out of this unbelievable crisis, which is creating huge demand destruction, over the years, the UAE will push for more production, absolutely. But for now, we're going to stay at these elevated and even more so high oil prices as the issue of Iran and the Iran crisis continues.
What does this mean for Saudi Arabia, where you are, for Riyadh, and the clout that they've always had in OPEC?
Well, it's a major blow for Saudi Arabia and also for the rest of OPEC countries, because OPEC formulates an opinion on the basis of general consensus. But it is a blow, understandably, for OPEC and Saudi Arabia. And that is something that they need to contend. Saudi Arabia will go at it alone with Russia, because they do mention OPEC plus. But so be it. The market needs to transform, and there has to be alternatives. And now the UAE is taking the choice of doubling down.
John, so interesting.